Carbohydrate, what does the body do after you eat it? So carbohydrates in many foods, you have carbohydrate rich foods like fruits, vegetables, grains, breads, orange juices, fruit juices, lollies. They're all what we call high rich carbohydrate foods, and some of them also have proteins and fats in them as well, such as vegetables and grains and cereals. But if it's mostly carbohydrate or high proportion of carbohydrate, we call it carbohydrate food. When we eat the carbohydrate, the body breaks it down when we absorb it into the bloodstream, and we break it down into glucose. So it doesn't matter whether that glucose comes from an orange, juice, bread or lollies. It's just called glucose. There's no such thing as a fruit glucose and a lolly glucose and an apple glucose and an apple juice glucose. It's just glucose. But what comes with it is many other factors in the food, such as fiber and vitamins and minerals and other macronutrients. But when it gets into the bloodstream, it's called glucose. Then that glucose is transported around the body, and then it gets stored into the cells of the body as glycogen. Now you only have 400 grams of potential to store glycogen in the body, around 400 grams. So when you overeat, that 400 gram limit is full, and then the body will have high blood glucose levels, and it'll be floating around as high blood sugar levels. And the body doesn't like that because the glucose molecule is a large molecule, and it can cause a lot of irritation and deterioration of the inner lining of the blood vessels. It can lead to things such as diabetes and so on. So the body wants to get rid of it. So if it can't store it anymore because it's all full, then the body will lift the metabolism and try to burn it off by increasing your metabolic rate. That's why when you eat a lot at night time, you go to bed and you wake up in the middle of the night sweaty, because the body's trying to raise your metabolism to burn off that extra glycogen to bring your blood sugar levels down low. But if it can't do that, you keep overeating, as a lot of people do these days, and the body will start to convert that carbohydrate into fat through the process of de novo lipogenesis. But remember, that only occurs when your glucose levels are full. If your glucose levels, your 400 grams, is not full, none of the carbohydrate that you eat actually converts into fat unless you're overflowing those stores, as a lot of people do. So a lot of people think that if I eat bread it turns to fat, or eat lollies it turns to fat. No, it only turns to fat if your glycogen stores are already full, and then you continue to eat and you overeat for a continual period of time. So I guess the message is, don't be afraid of carbohydrate if you're not overeating in carbohydrate. And if you're overeating in carbohydrate, you're probably overeating in all your other macronutrients, such as your fats and your protein. So don't fear carbohydrate, only if you overeat. But overeating anything is never good anyway. And that would be no cow poo.